individually sent to you in various platforms, right? Okay, so let us start with this case. The name of the case is okay. Just give me a second. I hope it is visible to you guys, the Panduranga case, right? Is it fine? Is this visible? Yeah, that is something which is visible. Now, before I start this case, let me tell you that it's primarily not a banking law case or a SARFAESI case. It's a constitutional law case. It's a constitutional law case which basically deals with the legislative powers of the parliament and the state legislature. So the only reason because of which you might be finding it difficult is because the length of the case was way too much, and probably there were some concepts which were extremely intricate and complicated in nature. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll try to explain to you the merits and the heartbeats of the case, the crux of the case, and I will not be reading the entire case as I had been doing in the past classes. Rather, I'll make you understand the complicated concepts of the case so that I'm able to cover this entire discussion within a period of 1 hour only. And after that, you can just go through the summary, and believe you me, it will not be a difficult affair after all. Now, let us start. Let us start with the case. Now, please, it's not important for you to actually go through the summary right at this point of time only. Please listen to me whatever I'm speaking. And in case if you have got any doubt in relation to what I'm speaking, then only ask me questions. Forget the summary. Summary you can read after the class is done. Now, what is this case all about? What is the moot question, or what is the issue which the Supreme Court has to basically adjudicate in this case? Now, the question is whether the SARFAESI Act, which was enacted by the Indian Parliament in the year 2002, is applicable Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. So I was speaking about the moot question or the issue which has basically been adjudicated by the Supreme Court in this case. The issue is whether the provisions of SARFAESI Act or the SARFAESI Act in totality will be applicable to the cooperative banks or not. Is it? I hope you must have gone through the basics of this case. I hope this much you must be knowing, that this is the moot question which is involved in this case, and this question is basically being answered by the Honorable Supreme Court in this case, and it's a constitution bench, right? So constitution bench basically means 5 or more judges. In this case, we have got 5 judges. Now, in relation to the name of the judges and etc., that is something which you can do on your own. I am not going into those specifics and details. Is it fine, everyone? Yeah, I hope this is fine, right? Okay. Now coming to the case at hand. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Okay. Now I hope guys, I hope that you see, because I don't have a lot of time to teach you the basics of everything in relation to banking law. I am anticipating that you know certain acts and their fundamentals. For example, the SARFAESI Act, the Banking Regulations Act, the Cooperative Society Act, the Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions Act. Now, in a nutshell, I'll try to make you understand what do you mean by cooperative society. Why are we speaking about cooperative banks? Again, I'm going to the basic question. The basic question is whether the provisions of SARFAESI Act, which was enacted by the Indian Parliament in the year 2002, will be applicable to cooperative banks or not. Now, we have got the commercial banks. Now, those commercial banks can also be termed as scheduled banks. The general banks, like for example PNB, ICI, etc., which are there in the schedule of the RBI. And then we have got a separate category of cooperative banks. Now, it is without a doubt that the provisions of SARFAESI Act right from its commencement were made applicable to all the other commercial banks and the scheduled banks. The moot question is whether it will be applicable to the cooperative banks or not. So before I go into this question, it's very important for us to understand that why did this controversy overall arise in its first place? ये controversy हुआ ही क्यों? Why is this thing coming to the court? Okay, now before I go into all those things, I'm just going to speak in brief about the concept of cooperative society. So first of all, I'll be speaking from an economical perspective, and then I'll make a legal transition. Now, if you go to the origins of cooperative society, guys, this is from an economical perspective because it's important for me to make you understand the meaning of cooperative bank. बैंक का मतलब तो आप सबको पता होगा और जो नॉर्मल कमर्शियल बैंक्स हैं वो भी उनका भी मतलब आपको पता होगा. Now here in this case, it's important on our part to distinguish between cooperative banks and the normal banks. अगर हम लोग differences समझ जाएंगे दोनों concepts का तो automatically we will understand that why is this issue cropping up in the very first place. Now cooperative society क्या होता है? Cooperative society basically is an organization or an institution in which people who have got like-minded interest come together for a particular purpose. For example, 10 of us, जैसे मान लीजिए हम लोग सबको ही हैं. Why are we here? We are here for one common target, and the common target is to qualify LLM entrance examinations. Now, for this particular purpose, we can establish a cooperative society. Now, cooperative society, the subject matter of cooperative society as per Indian Constitution is a state subject. So, cooperative society is a state subject. As a result of which, and it is compulsory in nature, right? The registration of a cooperative society is compulsory in nature. So imagine a situation in which we 10 individuals made a cooperative society for the purpose of qualifying various LLM entrance examination. Now, what will be the next step? The next step will be to register this cooperative society. How will we register this cooperative society? We will register this cooperative society under various respective state legislations. Now you will say, sir, cooperative society का central legislation क्यों नहीं है? Because I have already mentioned that cooperative society is a state matter. It's a state subject. As a result of which, only the state legislatures are empowered to exclusively legislate on that. Is it fine? So what will be the second step which we will do? The second step which we will do is to go for the registration of cooperative society. And once we complete the registration of the cooperative society under the Cooperative Society Registration Act of a particular state, then only our cooperative society will have a legal standing. Is it fine with everyone? Any questions on this? Any questions on this, guys? Any questions on this? Cooperative society and the entire procedure. Is it fine? Is it fine? Please ask me questions. Yeah. No questions on this, right? No questions on this. Fine. Now, yeah, Nayan, I have not come to cooperative banks. I'm only speaking about cooperative society. Cooperative societies are not regulated by RBI. Cooperative banks are regulated by RBI. Now, cooperative society can perform a lot of different functions. Now, one of the functions which can be performed by a cooperative society is the function of a bank. Are you understanding? There can be a cooperative trading society. There can be a cooperative agricultural society. There can be anything, whatever purpose you want, you can do it provided it is legal in nature. Now, one of the legal purpose because of which the cooperative society can be formed is for the purpose of banking. For example, let us say this LLM entrance examination affair is a very costly affair. और ऐसा हो सकता है that probably because the fees of National Law School Bangalore or the fees of National Law School Hyderabad is so much that some of us will not be able to pay the fees. As a result of which we come up with this idea that let us establish a bank. Okay, let us establish a bank. So what we do is that we formulate a cooperative society. We get the cooperative society registered under the Cooperative Society Act. and then we go with this purpose. And what is this purpose? So it will basically be a cooperative bank. Yeah. Is it clear to everyone? Now Ruchi is asking me this question, that how it is different from housing cooperative society. Again, Ruchi, the purpose is different. What is the purpose of a housing cooperative society? The name, the the understanding is clear from the phrase itself. It's for the purpose of housing. It's not for the purpose of banking. When a cooperative society actively indulges in primarily banking function, it becomes a cooperative bank. Is it okay? Is it understood till this particular point, guys? Is it fine? No, no. And not NBFC. Those are non-banking financial institutions. NBFC. Just wait a second. Let me come. Till here, is it clear, everyone? Till this particular point of time, is it clear? Yeah. Yeah. ओके, प्लीज लिसन टू मी वेरी केयरफुली. देखिए, अभी उतना जानना जरूरी नहीं है क्योंकि कल एग्जाम है, वरना मैं आपको सब बता देता. ठीक है, मैं आपको कल सब बता देता, बट अभी उतना ही सुनिए जितना केस के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. बट सिंस इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू नो द फंडामेंटल एंड नुआंसेस, दैट इज व्हाई आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड द एंटायर ट्रैजेक्टरी, और एल्स आई वुड हैव डायरेक्टली कम टू द केस, लेकिन आपको फिर समझ में नहीं आया होता. Please listen to me very carefully. I'll cover every question. So have patience. This video might be recorded, and that is the reason because of which I contacted the Lex Templum guys. So in case if you're going to miss certain things, वो चीज आप बाद में सुन सकते हैं. Now अब देखिए, I am moving from the history. Now imagine a situation that the first cooperative bank was established in this country. Then slowly and steadily more number of cooperative banks were established in this country. Now try to understand one thing. How is a cooperative bank different from a normal bank? The difference lies in the fact that cooperative bank basically subserves the interest of its individual members only. Isn't it? When we form a cooperative society, when we, all the individuals who are present in today's class, when we form a cooperative bank or a cooperative society basically, then why are we establishing this bank? We are establishing this bank because we want to serve our own individual come collective interest. We are not here to serve the interest of the public or society. Isn't it? Now if you take the example of PNB or ICI or any other bank which is a commercial bank or which is a scheduled bank under the provisions of RBI Act. Now for that bank, all those individuals who are account holders, they will serve the interest of those individuals. So are you understanding the difference between a cooperative bank and the normal commercial banks or the scheduled banks? Is it fine? Is it fine? Is it fine, everyone? I'm moving forward. Right. Now I'm again going to the backwards. Firstly, cooperative society is being registered under the Cooperative Society Registration Act. Then we indulge in cooperative. Then what happens is, now when you are establishing a bank in this country, when you are establishing a cooperative bank in this country, it's mandatory on your part to follow the provisions of RBI Act and the Banking Regulations Act. Now, initially, just try to understand. Initially, when our country got independence, and then the Constitution came into force in the year 1950. At that point of time, we had the Banking Companies Act. Please, अभी आप लोग नाम सुनते होंगे ना, Banking Regulation Act. पहले वो Banking Companies Act था, Banking Regulation Act नहीं था, वो Banking Companies Act था 1949. आई होप आप ध्यान से सुनिएगा, वो बैंकिंग कंपनीज एक्ट था. नाउ दिस वाज इन द ईयर 1962 एंड 1963, जब हमारे देश में कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स की संख्या बहुत बढ़ गई. when there was a great proliferation in the number of cooperative banks in our country, जब cooperative banks all over country spread हो गए, then this became a national affair. And then the parliament, you can say the government of India, decides that it's high time that we should start regulating the activities of these cooperative banks. If we don't regulate the activities of this particular banks, probably this will lead to misappropriation of funds, which will go against public interest. And this was the main reason because of which in the year 1962 and 1963, certain changes come amendments were made in the Banking Companies Act and the Reserve Bank of India Act to bring in the system of cooperative banks under the umbrella of Banking Companies Act and the RBI Act. Is it clear to everyone? समझ में आया आपको बात? ठीक है, समझ में आया? Please tell me how this entire system of cooperative banks were brought under the umbrella of RBI Act and the Banking Companies Act. देखिए, try to understand one thing. Whenever an institution of bank is established in this country, it's important for that particular institution of bank to confer with the mandatory provisions of RBI Act and the Banking Companies Act, जो कि अभी बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन बन गया है. अब देखिए, बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन, देयर वाज अ चेंज इन नॉमेनक्लेचर बिकॉज ऑफ अ रीजन. द रीजन इज these cooperative banks are not companies, they are cooperative societies. There is a difference between cooperative society and a company. Before 1962 or 1963, only those banks were recognized by RBI or under the umbrella of Banking Companies Act, which were banking companies. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आईसीआई या किसी का भी आप एग्जाम्पल ले लीजिए, ये लोग बैंकिंग कंपनीज हैं, ये लोग कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स नहीं है. सो द डिफरेंस लाइज इन अ बैंकिंग कंपनी एंड अ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी. नाउ अ कंपनी इज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड और रजिस्टर्ड अंडर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट. अ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी is registered under the provisions of Cooperative Society Act. Now, Companies Act is a parliament legislation. It's a central affair. Cooperative Act is individual for all the states. So I hope that you have understood and discerned the difference between a cooperative society and a banking company or a company. Is it fine? Is it fine, everyone? Please reply yes or no. Please reply. I'm giving you the time. Please reply yes or no. Any questions on this? I hope. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Kusagra, that is a central legislation, Kusagra. There is a different reason behind that. I'll come to that. Let me come to the individual entries. First, please understand the development of cooperative banks. How did the legal development took place in banking sector? Unless and until you don't understand the history of banking development, you will not be able to appreciate the merits of this case. So is it clear till now? Is it clear till now? Yeah, fine. So just try to understand. I'm just recapitulating and recapping for you guys. When our country got independent and when our constitution came into being in the year 1950, right? Our constitution came into being in the year 1950. 1949. So Banking Companies Act is a pre-constitutional legislation. It was banking companies. The name of the act was changed to Banking Regulation Act in the year 1962, come 63, right? The reason is, now please try to understand the reason. What was the reason because of which there was a change from banking companies to banking regulation? The reason is simple, because in the year 1963, you are bringing the entire system of cooperative banks under the ambit of Banking Companies Act, right? बैंकिंग कंपनीज एक्ट के अंदर में आप कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स को लेकर आ रहे हैं. और अब ठीक है, और ये जो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स हैं, ये तो कंपनी है नहीं, ये क्या है? ये तो कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी है. And that was the reason because of which it was decided by the parliament of this country and it was advised by the central government that you please change the name of the act. So from Banking Companies Act, it became Banking Regulations Act. Now try to understand one thing. One word is very significant and prominent in this entire subject matter. What is that? What is that? And that is banking. Banking का मतलब क्या होता है? And that particular word has been interpreted by the Honorable Supreme Court in this very case, something which we will get to know in the upcoming stages of the case. Now, before I go into the interpretation of the word banking, try to understand one thing. If a company is actively indulging in banking affairs, it becomes a banking company. If a cooperative society actively indulges in banking affairs, it becomes a cooperative bank. Both are two different institutions, recognized, registered, and incorporated under different legislations. A company gets registered and incorporated under Companies Act, whereas a cooperative society gets registered and incorporated under Cooperative Act. But at the end of the day, both these institutions are performing the same function, and the function is of banking. And there is where they merge. And since they merge because of their common functions, that is why both of them are under one umbrella, that is Banking Regulation Act and RBI Act, which is the head of the banking institution sector in our country. Is it fine? यहाँ तक समझ में आया सबको? I hope this is clear. The base is done. Right. Good. Any questions, guys? I'm giving you the opportunity to ask me basic questions. But if you are done, please let me move forward because you have a test at 5:30. I'm trying to complete the entire case. Okay. Now let us come to 1993. In 1993, there was a legislation which was passed, and the name of the legislation was Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions. देखिए मैं आपको सिंपल शब्द में बताऊं, 1950 जब हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना, फ्रॉम 1950 टू 1993, मान लीजिए कि आपने बैंक से लोन लिया है. इमेजिन अ सिचुएशन इन विच यू हैव टेकन अ लोन फ्रॉम द बैंक and you did not pay the loan back to the bank. What will the bank do? The bank will have to go to the court, isn't it or not? यही करना पड़ता, बैंक को कोर्ट जाना पड़ता. बैंक खुद से तो कुछ कर नहीं सकता था. As a result of which, what used to happen? It used to impact the entire economic activity of the bank. You'll ask me, sir. You'll ask me why, sir? All of us know the complicated procedure which is encapsulated in CPC and etc. सबको पता है कितना टाइम लगेगा. As a result of which, the economic environment of the country was being compromised and marginalized. As a result of which, it was decided in the year 1992 to have a separate branch of legislation which will provide a tribunal system for the recovery of debt. मतलब जो बैंक को पैसा वापस लेना होता है, उसके लिए हम एक नया ट्रिब्यूनल का सिस्टम बनाएंगे. एब्सोल्युटली जयती. दैट इज कॉल्ड DRT. आपने इंटर्नशिप्स किया होगा, आप लोग समझे होंगे. डेप्ट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल होता है. सो दिस एंटायर मैकेनिज्म ऑफ डेट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल was established with the passing of the legislation in the year 1993, and the name of the act is Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions. I hope that is clear. Basic में आपको समझ में आ गया why was that particular act passed in the year 1993. Now let us move to 2002. Now 2002 is a watershed year that actually marks a watershed development in the banking law system, because in the year 2002 we have the SARFAESI Act, and the SARFAESI Act gets passed by the Indian Parliament. SARFAESI Act, I'm going to just make you understand in a very normal sense. Okay, through an illustration. Imagine a situation, I take a loan from State Bank of India, Ranchi. I take a loan of 5 crore rupees. Now मान लीजिए that I become a defaulter. जब मैं defaulter बन जाता हूं, and if I'm not able to pay back the loan, what will be the consequence? My loan will eventually turn into an NPA, right? NPA, I hope everyone knows about that concept. Non-performing asset. अब ये simple, जो so many industrialists have done in our country and they have flown to various other countries. That's a different thing. So वो NPA हो जाएगा, non-performing asset, right? Now in this situation, what should the bank do? The general procedure was to, firstly, after 1950, what was the procedure? To approach the court. But after 1993, what was the procedure? To go to the DRT. But in the year 2002, this particular legislation empowers the bank to directly sell the security without even going to the tribunal or to the court. मतलब बात ये हो गया कि मान लीजिए मैंने 5 करोड़ का लोन लिया है और सिक्योरिटी के लिए अपना घर रखा है मॉर्गेज पे. तो बैंक क्या करेगा कि मेरे जो मॉर्गेज पे घर है उसको डायरेक्टली बेच देगा without even taking the consent of the court or the tribunal. Now, this particular thing was unprecedented, unheard in the previous legislation. Is it fine? समझ में आया सबको? Is it fine? यहां तक सबको समझ में आया? Is it fine, everyone? I hope. I hope this is clear to every one of you. Now, now let us try to understand the crux of this controversy. अब controversy क्या होता है? Now, Seetal. Now, imagine a situation, guys. Imagine a situation. Seetal takes a loan from Bhubaneswar Cooperative Society Bank, Khurda. Right? Seetal takes a loan from Bhubaneswar Cooperative Society Bank, Khurda. I take a loan from SBI. I take a loan from SBI. Okay. Now imagine a situation if the provisions of SARFAESI Act are not applicable to the cooperative bank but are applicable to the SBI. Imagine a situation. हम दोनों लोगों ने लोन लिया, दोनों लोग डिफॉल्टर बन गए, दोनों लोगों ने पैसा नहीं चुकता किया. So please tell me what are the options which are available to Bhubaneswar Cooperative Bank Khurda if SARFAESI Act is not applicable to the cooperative bank. उनके पास ऑप्शन क्या रहेगा? To approach DRT, right? To approach DRT, absolutely correct. Bhubaneswar would go to DRT because the provisions of SARFAESI Act is not applicable to a cooperative bank. But here in Ranchi, I am a willful defaulter in relation to SBI. What can the SBI do? The SBI can directly sell my security which I had given to SBI in lieu for taking the loan. Isn't it? Is this clear? यहां तक सबको समझ में आ गया? So guys, and this is the moot question. The moot question is whether the provisions of SARFAESI Act should be applicable to cooperative banks or not. Is it clear? See, before reading a case, it's very important to understand the moot question. If you don't understand the moot question, you cannot move forward in the case. So I hope this is clear to everyone. This is not a very complicated case. It's a technical case, guys. At the end of the day, it's a constitutional law case. Is it fine? Should I move forward? Yeah. Okay. I hope all of you are carrying your constitutional bare text. It's very important to carry your constitutional bare text. ठीक है? अब बस इंटरप्रिटेशन होगा और मैं अभी केस वोस पढ़ाने नहीं वाला हूं, पूरा समरी. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू टेल यू द इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड इट विल बिकम वेरी ल्यूसिड फॉर यू. ओके, तो सबसे पहले हम लोग प्रोविजंस खोलते हैं SARFAESI एक्ट का. व्हाई विल वी ओपन द प्रोविजंस ऑफ SARFAESI एक्ट? भाई जेन्युइन है, क्योंकि SARFAESI एक्ट में लिखा रहेगा कि SARFAESI एक्ट किस पे अप्लाई करता है. अगर हम ये पढ़ लेंगे तो कंफ्यूजन ही दूर हो जाएगा. एंड देन वी विल अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाई हैव द पिटिशनर्स कम टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. नाउ just to explain you in brief, Panduranga, sorry, not Panduranga, Mr. Pandurang. Mr. Pandurang has taken a loan from a bank in Maharashtra, from a cooperative bank. ठीक है? Mr. Pandurang, sorry, not Panduranga, Panduranga has taken a loan from cooperative bank in Maharashtra. Now, he was not able to pay the money. He was not able to pay the entire loan sum amount plus the interest back to the cooperative bank. Now, what did the cooperative bank do? The cooperative bank, under the provisions of SARFAESI Act, initiated the process. Now, here is the contention of Mr. Pandurang that cooperative bank cannot do it because the provisions of SARFAESI Act are not applicable to a cooperative bank. Is it fine? Is it clear, everyone? I'm moving forward. Okay. Can you see this bank? Guys, can you see this? This is actually SARFAESI Act Section 2. Yeah, okay. Now you're not seeing it. Or you're seeing it right now also. You're seeing it. Okay. Just give me a second. Give me a second, guys. When do you want me to leave you, right? When do you want me to leave you? Because at 5:30 you have your mock, right? Please tell me the time. At 5:20. Okay, okay. Just give me a second. Okay, now just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'm trying to open it. The Supreme Court today has eventually complicated the matter more, I feel. Instead of giving a relief to any one of the sides, they complicated the matter. So ultimately, yeah, now coming to the word bank. I hope this is clear to, okay, coming to the interpretation of the word bank, right? So I am basically going to read section 2C of the SARFAESI Act 2020. Now, bank means a banking company, a corresponding new bank, or the State Bank of India, or the subsidiary bank. Then there is a 4A, multi-state cooperative bank, right? Multi-state cooperative bank. Now please try to understand and listen to me very carefully. Please try to understand and listen to me very carefully. This 4A, this has been inserted in the SARFAESI Act by an amendment in the year 2013. Is it clear? Now, this particular amendment and its constitutionality is being challenged in this case. Please remember this very point. 4A, it says a multi-state cooperative bank. So a bank will include a multi-state cooperative bank. So the government of India or the central government of India is basically bringing the entire system of multi-state cooperative bank within the ambit of SARFAESI Act. Now there is a difference. Now please try to understand. There is a difference between multi-state cooperative bank. Multi-state cooperative bank का मतलब ये होगा कि a cooperative bank whose tentacles is not limited to the frontiers of one very state. For example, a cooperative bank whose presence is there in the state of Odisha, Jharkhand, UP, Maharashtra. Now, in that particular situation, the legislation which will control multi-state cooperative bank has to compulsorily be passed by the parliament, because the states will have no territorial jurisdiction to pass a legislation which will regulate the acts and workings of a multi-state cooperative bank. Is it fine? I hope. Cooperative bank बहुत तरीके के होते हैं. Yeah, list one entry 44. Yes, I'll come to that, Kusagar. Right. Now coming to the fifth part. The fifth point. The fifth point is such other bank which the central government may by notification specify for the purposes of this act. Now listen to this particular thing which I'm going to tell you right now. In this very case, two different things are being challenged. The first thing is a delegated legislation, and the second thing is an amendment which has been made to this very act itself. Okay, जो पहला चीज है वो एक delegated legislation है, which is being challenged in this very case that it is unconstitutional, and the second thing is an amendment. So first try to understand what is the notification. Now यहाँ पे क्या बोलता है C के 5 clause में? It says such other bank which the central government may by notification specify for the purposes of this act. So the central government in the year 2003 comes up with a notification. And what is that notification? It comes up with a notification that all the cooperative banks which are operating in this country will come under the definition of banks for the purpose of SARFAESI Act. Is it fine, guys? समझ में आया? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने क्या नोटिफिकेशन निकाला? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने नोटिफिकेशन निकाला, and how is the central government getting the power to come up with such a notification? Because of this very clause. यहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? We are just trying to analyze the definition of bank. कि बैंक का मतलब क्या क्या होता है? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4A में दिया हुआ है. 5 में दिया हुआ है, the fifth subsection is basically entrusting the power to the central government, that the central government in its discretion can bring any particular institution within the ambit of bank for the purpose of SARFAESI Act. So central government क्या करता है in the year 2003? What they do is they bring in the entire system of cooperative banks within the ambit of banks for SARFAESI Act. Is it clear? So this particular delegated legislation is being challenged. ये delegated legislation है ना, this is not a legislation. I hope this is clear to all of you. The difference between delegated and all. I'm not getting into all of these things, right? This is a delegated legislation. Is it fine, everyone? Please tell me, please reply. आप समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं समझ रहे हैं? Or it is becoming complicated? Yeah, it's fine. Now coming to the next part. Yeah. अब आप बोलिएगा कि सर what is the legislation or the amendment which is being challenged? The amendment is 4A. 4A. C4, that is a multi-state cooperative bank. This amendment is also being challenged. This amendment is also being challenged. Is it fine, everyone? This amendment is also being challenged. So this amendment, along with the executive notification of the central government, both are being challenged in this case. Now, जब आप इसको पढ़ते हैं तो आपके दिमाग में एक क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए, and the question is कि सर multi-state cooperative bank is actually a cooperative bank, है कि नहीं? Multi-state cooperative bank is a cooperative bank. Now in the year 2003, when the central government has already notified that all the cooperative banks will come under the definition of banks for the purpose of SARFAESI Act, तो फिर 2012 में सेपरेट अमेंडमेंट लाने की क्या जरूरत थी? It was already covered. Did you understood it? आपको समझ में आया मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? कि अलग से मल्टी स्टेट बैंक लाने की क्या जरूरत थी? पहले ही आपने नोटिफिकेशन पास कर दिया है. In the year 2003 only you have passed a notification. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Please reply. I don't know. The 93 people. Yeah, absolutely, Seetal. Both are different. Seetal, try to. Yeah, both are different, Seetal. But at the end of the day, both are cooperative banks. Both are cooperative banks. I hope you are getting it. Both are. देखिए मल्टी स्टेट हो या सिंगुलर स्टेट हो, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट विल नॉट लूज इट्स कैरेक्टर ऑफ बीइंग अ कोऑपरेटिव बैंक. वो तो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक ही रहेगा ना. आई होप या. और जब when the center is using this phrase cooperative bank, it basically means that it will include both, whether it's a multi-state cooperative bank or a normal bank which is registered within a state. Now you know the reason is that it was something which was unnecessary, but it has been done as a matter of caution by the parliament. Parliament को ये amendment लाना जरूरी नहीं था, but this has been done as a matter of caution by the parliament. Is it fine? Now this individual notification and this particular amendment, यही इस केस में challenge हो रहा है. Is it fine, everyone? Is it fine? Should I move to the constitution part? So give me 5. मैं 525 तक पढ़ाऊंगा, right? 525 and I'll cover the entire case. Okay. So I hope all of you are carrying your constitution bare text, and in case even if you are not carrying your constitution bare text, okay. So is it visible, guys? I hope this is visible. ये entries दिख रही हैं आपको? So I have basically opened Schedule 7, Union List. Now, before I go into this and before I examine all these things, I hope you know this entire concept of federalism which exists in our Indian democratic structure. Article 245 and Article 246, when we give it a combined reading, they empower the parliament as well as the state legislature to make laws for the functioning of this country. They empower the parliament as well as the state legislature to make laws. On which subject matter, किस चीजों में वो law बना सकते हैं, that is mentioned in the schedule. So the power to legislate comes from the constitutional articles. The subject matter comes from the list which are elucidated under Schedule 7 to the Indian Constitution. Is it clear? अब देखिए, try to understand. मैं आपको एक साथ बता दे रहा हूं कि petitioner का argument क्या है. Please try to understand. The argument of the petitioner means Pandurang. Pandurang basically means all those individuals who are saying that the provisions of SARFAESI Act will not be applicable to a cooperative bank. So all those people who are supporting this particular stand, they are saying that the parliament of this country does not have power to make any law in relation to cooperative society. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी के रिलेशन में आप कोई भी लॉ नहीं बना सकते हैं. व्हाट इज द रीजन? द रीजन इज बिकॉज कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी इज अ स्टेट सब्जेक्ट. द कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी इज अ स्टेट सब्जेक्ट, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच what the parliament of this country is doing is a colorable exercise of power. आपने पढ़ा होगा colorable legislation, which you cannot do directly, you cannot do indirectly. So what the parliament of this country has done along with the central government is a colorable exercise of power. Chandrasekhar Aguram, I have already answered this very question. That was incorporated as a matter of caution, but legally and academically, yeah, thank you Siddhar for giving me that phrase, as a matter of caution. And legally and academically speaking, even if that amendment would not have been brought by the parliament in the year 2013, there would have been no change in the legal status quo of the SARFAESI Act. कोई चेंज नहीं होता. वो एज अ मैटर ऑफ कॉशन कर लेते हैं कि भाई एनलैट निकल गया है तो क्लाइंट में भी बैठ जाते हैं. ऐसा मत कीजिएगा. ओके, एनलैट निकल जाएगा तो आराम कीजिएगा. ओके, सो नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट, सो आई वाज स्पीकिंग अबाउट स्टेट लिस्ट एंड द यूनियन लिस्ट. Okay, so first let us see how is this controversy arising. How are they coming up with this particular point, and what is the argument from the side of the respondent? So first of all, please open 32 खोलिए, entry number 32 of state list. Do you want me to open that on the screen also? मैं screen पे भी खोल दूं उसको. Wait. So here it is, right? Here it is. Entry 32 of state list. Entry 32 of state list. Now what does it say? It says incorporation, regulation, winding up of corporation other than those specified in list 1, untrading, literacy, scientific, not. Last is cooperative society. So everything in relation to incorporation, regulation and winding up of a cooperative society, only the state has the power to make laws. That is the reason when I was in the initial part of the lecture, I said that a cooperative society has to be registered and incorporated under the respective state legislation. क्योंकि स्टेट के पावर है लॉ बनाने, स्टेट के पास पावर है ना, पार्लियामेंट के पास तो पावर है नहीं. दैट इज द रीजन, राइट. अब मिस्टर पांडुरंग इज सेइंग कि यहाँ पे क्लियर कट लिखा हुआ है कि कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी से लॉ, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी के रिलेशन में लॉ सिर्फ स्टेट बना सकता है. हाउ इज दिस पार्लियामेंट मेकिंग अ लॉ इन रिलेशन टू कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी? तो आप बोलिएगा कि सर पार्लियामेंट लॉ कैसे बना रहा? ऑफ कोर्स द पार्लियामेंट इज मेकिंग अ लॉ, because the parliament is bringing the entire cooperative society banking system under the ambit of SARFAESI Act. So that is an act of central government. है कि नहीं? अच्छा, just tell me one thing. Passing of notification by the central government. What is that act? It is an example of delegated legislation, isn't it? Which article of Indian Constitution empowers the central executive to do it? कौन सा आर्टिकल empower करता है? Which article? Is it 309? Thank you so much. It's article 73. The executive के पास वही पावर होता है जो पार्लियामेंट के पास लॉ मेकिंग पावर होता है. Absolutely correct. Don't forget all these relations, guys. Not a problem. Okay, so I hope you know this. Now, yeah, co-extensive power, absolutely correct, guys. Why do you come up with such names like Hakuna Matata and all? Brilliant answer. Now let us come to union list and try to understand how is this conflict arising, how is this controversy arising. Now let us come to entry number 45. what is entry number 45? Entry number 45 is banking. Entry number 45 is banking. Now the definition of the word banking is mentioned in Banking Regulation Act 1949. जो बैंकिंग का डेफिनेशन है ना, वो बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1949 में मेंशन है. हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन केम इनटू द बीइंग इन द ईयर 1950. जब हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन 1950 में आया, तो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ मेकर्स यूज द वर्ड बैंकिंग, बट उन्होंने डिफाइन नहीं किया कि बैंकिंग का मतलब क्या होता है. So at that point of time there was a consensus in the constituent assembly कि बैंकिंग का वही मतलब होगा जो कि बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट में है. ठीक है, जो बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट 1949, उस टाइम के लिए वो बैंकिंग कंपनीज एक्ट था. I hope you are able to understand the relation. It's very important to define banking because the parliament is saying that we have the power to legislate in relation to cooperative banks, because the power is emanating or coming from entry number 45. Entry number 45 से आ रहा है, banking से आ रहा है. The Honorable Supreme Court in this very case of Pandurang, the Supreme Court tries to understand the meaning of the word banking. Now, all of us know that the Indian Constitution is not a static document. Right, it's a progressive, it's a changing document, it's a dynamic document. So in the very same sense, the meaning and definition of the word banking will not become constant. Right, it will also change with a change in the economic practices in the country. जैसे जैसे economy change होगा, banking की definition भी change होगी. मिस्टर पांडुरंग ये कहते हैं, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, पांडुरंग साहब ये कहते हैं, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, बैंक्स, इंडिया में जितने भी बैंक्स होते हैं, दे परफॉर्म टू टाइप ऑफ फंक्शंस. फर्स्ट फंक्शन इज द प्राइमरी बैंकिंग फंक्शन एंड द सेकंड फंक्शन इज जो बहुत सारा एनी अदर फंक्शन अपार्ट फ्रॉम बैंकिंग फंक्शन. व्हाट आर द प्राइमरी बैंकिंग फंक्शंस गाइस? कैन यू टेल मी? बैंक का मेन फंक्शन क्या होता है? What are the core banking functions? Anyone? Just tell me. Yeah, absolutely. पैसा लेना, पैसा देना. In very simple sense, यार पैसा लेते हैं, पैसा देते हैं. पैसा लेंगे नहीं तो देंगे भी नहीं. Yeah, money deposit, security deposit, and they will give you loans. This is the core banking. This is the core banking concept. This is the core banking function. Something which is also mentioned in the definition part of Banking Regulation Act. अब देखिए हो क्या रहा है. सरफेसी एक्ट किस चीज से सरफेसी एक्ट और द रिकवरी ऑफ डेट्स ड्यू टू बैंक्स एंड फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस एक्ट 1993, ये जो रिकवरी ऑफ डेट है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज रिकवरी ऑफ डेट. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? रिकवरी ऑफ डेट इज अ कोर बैंकिंग फंक्शन और नॉट? Recovery of debt is a core banking function or not? That is it. Now, why are you saying? Do you think in the year 1950 it was a? Just give me. देखिए अगर आप ये समझ गए तो केस को समझ गए. Please give me one single sentence reasoning. Why recovery of debt is a core banking function? क्यों ऐसा क्यों है? जैसा भी, प्लीज जस्ट रिप्लाई इन वन सेंटेंस. भाई क्योंकि अगर पैसा नहीं आएगा तो बैंक चलेगा कैसे? Yeah, cash flow, absolutely related to loan. If I don't get the money, how will the bank sustain? So of course, this will always go within the ambit of core banking functions of a bank. Isn't it? It will always go within the core banking functions of a bank. Now, अगर वो cooperative bank हो या non cooperative bank हो, at the end of the day, they are performing banking functions, isn't it? So in spite of the fact that you are a cooperative bank, you are a cooperative society registered as a bank, still you are performing banking functions. And in relation to the ambit of banking, the parliament has the power to legislate. है कि नहीं? Because of entry 45 list 1. और अगर बैंकिंग And if the parliament can legislate on banking, the parliament can also legislate on recovery of debt. Because recovery of debt is an important pillar which comes within the ambit of core functions of a bank. देखिए क्वेश्चन यही था, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, क्वेश्चन यही था, क्या रिकवरी ऑफ डेट इज अ कोर बैंकिंग फंक्शन और नॉट? Recovery of debt is a core banking function or not? The Honorable Supreme Court says that yes, it is. The Supreme Court in the Pandurang case says that yes, it is. And since recovery of debt is a core banking function, the parliament can legislate on this. And that is the reason because of which the parliament made a law which was named as SARFAESI. So in the very same sense, the parliament has the power and the central government has the power to bring a notification through which they can bring the cooperative banks within the umbrella of SARFAESI Act. क्योंकि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप भले ही कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी हैं, भले ही आपका फंक्शंस लिमिटेड है, आप नॉर्मल बैंक के इतना फंक्शन नहीं करते हैं, भले ही आपके स्टेक होल्डर्स लिमिटेड है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे यू आर परफॉर्मिंग बैंकिंग फंक्शन. And since you are performing banking function, since you are indulging in such type of an activity, it will give the power to the parliament of this country to legislate on that. Now, in addition to this, the court also says this. Please listen to this. At times, अब याद कीजिए doctrine of ancillary power, right? Doctrine of ancillary power. वैसे doctrine of ancillary power को court ने discuss नहीं किया है. Court has basically discussed about pith and substance. I hope you can recall pith and substance. Pith and substance. So whenever there is a contradiction, whether the state legislature has the power to make law or the parliament has the power to make law, we apply the doctrine of pith and substance to understand the intention, right? To understand the constitutional indictment, right? तो यहाँ पे क्योंकि बैंकिंग से रिलेटेड पार्लियामेंट को पावर है, that's why the parliament can make laws. Is it fine? So this was in relation to the constitutional angle, right? ये constitutional angle. And let me tell you how they have done it. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? 6 minutes more and I'll complete the case. 6 minutes more and I'll complete the case. ठीक है? I had told you that I'll complete the case. 1 minute. अब देखिए यहाँ पे क्या लिखा, guys. Please see this. This is something which is very important. यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि बैंक मीन्स बैंकिंग कंपनी, और ये डेफिनेशन देखिए, बैंकिंग कंपनी शैल हैव द सेम मीनिंग which is mentioned in section 5C of Banking Regulation Act. Okay, section 5C of Banking Regulation Act. So let us open section 5C of Banking Regulation Act quickly. So मतलब सरफेसी एक्ट में लिखा हुआ है कि बैंकिंग कंपनी का वही मीनिंग होगा जो बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट में लिखा हुआ है. So let us come to section 5. Section 5 deals with interpretation here, right? Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Yeah. So banking company means any company which transacts the business of banking. Now now I have to explain you one particular thing that is called doctrine of incorporation by reference. Now this is the most important thing. Try to understand one thing. When in the year 1962 or 1963, please listen to me very categorically, guys. यही important है, बस ये आखिरी चीज है. I hope I will be able to cover it. Now in the year 1962, when the central government along with the parliament decided to bring the umbrella of cooperative banking system within the ambit of Banking Regulation Act, because they wanted कि cooperative banks जो हैं वो भी Banking Regulation Act और RBI Act के अंडर में आ जाए, क्योंकि बहुत सारा पैसा accumulate हो रहा है और misappropriation हो रहा है, there are chances of misappropriation. तो हम लोग एक काम करते हैं, इसको Banking Regulation Act के अंदर में लेते आते हैं. But please try to understand one thing. But at that point of time, they were conscious of one particular thing. कि in relation to incorporation and registration of cooperative society, the parliament does not have the power. पार्लियामेंट के पास तो रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए पावर नहीं है, इनकॉर्पोरेशन का पावर नहीं है, मैनेजमेंट का पावर नहीं है, वो पावर तो स्टेट के पास है, विच इज मेंशन्ड इन एंट्री 32 लिस्ट 2। हमने अभी पढ़ा ना कि इनकॉर्पोरेशन, मैनेजमेंट, रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्सेट्रा इन रिलेशन टू कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी स्टेट ही लॉ बना सकता है, सेंटर सिर्फ बैंकिंग से रिलेटेड लॉ बना सकता है, राइट। सो कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी का इनकॉर्पोरेशन या मैनेजमेंट या एक्सेट्रा इन रिलेशन टू दिस द स्टेट विल मेक लॉ। लेकिन अगर एक कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी बैंक बनती है और वो बैंकिंग फंक्शन करती है, देन द सेंटर कैन मेक अ लॉ, एंड दैट इज व्हाट दे डिड। अब वहां पर एक कॉन्सेप्ट आता है इनकॉर्पोरेशन बाय रेफरेंस। देखिए इनकॉर्पोरेशन शुड आई बिकॉज यू हैव, आई गेस गाइस इट विल टेक टाइम, तो आप एक बार पढ़ लीजिएगा इनकॉर्पोरेशन बाय रेफरेंस। इतना कोई डिफिकल्ट चीज नहीं है। आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू द एंटायर थिंग बिकॉज आई डोंट वांट दैट यू शुड मिस आउट ऑन दिस मॉक टेस्ट। आप इनकॉर्पोरेशन बाय रेफरेंस नॉर्मली भी पढ़िएगा तो समझ में आ जाएगा। आई एम लीविंग यू एट 5 because I'm getting messages. I'm leaving you at 5:18 only. All the best for tomorrow's exam, and I have got only one request to all of you. एग्जाम देने के बाद आके आंसर्स चेक मत कीजिएगा, बिकॉज यू हैव टू अपीयर इन योर क्लैट एग्जामिनेशन एंड NLU DLLM एग्जामिनेशन. That's my only request. This is not a very difficult case. And in the meantime, if you find any difficult cases or complicated cases, I will always be there to help you guys. Okay, I'm sorry I was not able to do it. I was not aware of this particular thing, right? कभी भी इनकॉर्पोरेशन बाय रेफरेंस कोई डिफिकल्ट चीज नहीं है, हमने प्राइमरली सारा चीज समझ लिया है. एक बार आप समरी को जरूर से पढ़ लीजिएगा एंड इंडिविजुअली मैसेज मी इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इट, राइट? आई सेंड अ वॉइस नोट और समथिंग लाइक दैट. ऑल द बेस्ट. प्लीज डोंट जज योर परफॉर्मेंस बाय एनलैट. एनलैट में क्या होगा कोई नहीं जानता है. 3 questions are a matter of luck also, in my opinion. So please, even if you get poor marks and even if you get better marks, you're not a champion. And even if you get poor marks, that does not mean that your performance is bad. Your performance will be properly evaluated when you appear in CLAT. Okay, all the best, guys. Go and appear in your mock. In case if you have a doubt, mail me today itself. Thank you.